Hi teman-teman, how are you? It's a new year and this is probably going to be the first Maudie's Thoughts episode in 2024. Dan kali ini lumayan spesial karena aku tuh baru sadar juga banyak dari kalian yang ngikutin aku di YouTube atau aku yakin juga di social platforms aku yang lainnya itu banyak yang sudah kerja atau mungkin udah mau lulus jadi lagi applying, lagi first jobber atau lagi mau mulai internship. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, Kak Maudie, punya nggak sih tips communication in the workplace? Gitu. Gimana sih caranya supaya aku bisa perform, bisa succeed in the workplace because I have good communication skills. Nah, gara-gara ini aku jadi termotivasi lah untuk membuat episode ini dan kita akan mengupas, aku akan ngomongin 3 hal yang menurut aku tactically very useful and you guys can give it a try in your respective work settings. Aku pengen kasih disclaimer juga bahwa tips-tips ini tuh sebenarnya kombinasi dari banyak hal. Yang pertama bisa dibilang dari pengalaman aku sebagai public figure yang mungkin mendapatkan public speaking experiences. This is some wisdom that I can share with you guys. Terus di luar itu, aku juga sekarang memiliki company sendiri, mau itu di bidang media kreatif ataupun di bidang consumer venture. And I have many work partners as well. So these are some of the things that I've learned throughout my working experience. And hopefully it can be useful for you guys. And let's get into it. Tips pertama adalah kita atau kamu harus mengenal dulu kultur ataupun budaya tempat kamu bekerja. Karena aku tuh terekspos pada berbagai banyak kultur, entah itu partners aku atau company gitu ya yang aku miliki. I've noticed that different methods and different ways of showing up work better depending on the culture of the place that you're working in. Dan kita itu juga harus memerhatikan dan belajar dulu kulturnya seperti apa sih gitu. Karena misalnya nih kita punya asumsi, pokoknya kalau di meeting kita harus buru-buru kasih opini, kita harus dominan gitu. Gak semua workplace culture itu akan mengapresiasi hal tersebut gitu. Mungkin culture-nya tuh lebih listen first and then speak gitu ya. Tapi ada juga beberapa tempat kerja yang culture-nya tuh very much like perang gitu pada saat kita lagi meeting gitu. So you really have to make sure that you get your voice in. Jadi sebelum kita membuat asumsi apapun, I think it's really important to observe apa aja sih peraturan-peraturan implisit yang ada di tempat kamu bekerja gitu. Jadi kamu misalnya baru pertama kali meeting nih gitu, beberapa kali meeting itu kamu perhatiin dulu gitu. Do people like it when people speak up or butt in, or when people are very opinionated? Or is it more of a culture of hyper politeness and waiting for your turn to speak gitu? Karena menurut aku beda-beda nih gitu. Jadi strategi komunikasi kamu harus selaras juga dengan apa yang akan diapresiasi dan apa yang akan prioritaskan juga oleh kultur tersebut. So I just want to be really careful because we cannot always assume that strong initiative and taking dominant approach always works. It doesn't. Dan aku melihat di setiap tempat dan di setiap orang gitu ya, setiap manager tuh juga beda and they might prefer different things. So I want to caveat and I want to encourage you to always align your communication style with the culture of the place you work in. Because yes, we want to be authentic to ourselves dan itu penting, but we are working for a bigger entity. We're working for and in an organization and it's not just about you. And so in order to succeed in that organization, you really have to work with the culture and work with the people in that organization and work with what you've got. Tentunya dengan berjalannya waktu, kalau kalian memang sudah lebih punya privilege untuk memilih tempat kerja kalian, you can always align or choose a workspace yang culture-nya lebih cocok sama kamu gitu. Cuman tips awalnya itu menurut aku. Tips kedua, nah kalau ini sebenarnya aku mendapatkan inspirasi dari public speaking engagements aku selama udah lebih dari 10 tahun di industri media and entertainment. Dan aku tuh sadar bahwa setiap aku mau public speaking atau mau perform, biasanya aku tuh paling deg-degannya di 30 detik pertama. So I call this kind of like a 30-second rule. Kenapa sih 30 detik pertama tuh crucial banget? Karena kalau misalnya aku salah ngomong atau aku aku deg-degan di 30 detik pertama, biasanya the rest of my performance and the rest of my speech itu juga jadi agak berantakan, jadi agak deg-degan dan jadi kayak ikutan berantakan juga gitu. Jadi the 30 seconds is really important to get me to a place of comfort and confidence. Jadi salah satu tips buat teman-teman yang misalnya harus presentasi, akan didengar banyak orang, akan didengar direksi, itu kan pasti kalian deg-degan banget gitu. I would suggest after practicing, the entire thing, I would also really focus on what you have to say in the first 30 seconds. I would practice it even more. I would make it really perfect. Karena itu yang kalau buat aku ya sangat impactful dalam mempengaruhi performance dan juga confidence aku gitu selama presentasi yang lainnya. Jadi misalnya kalau kata-kata pertamanya adalah selamat siang teman-teman, para direksi dan juga team members. Hari ini saya akan presentasi tentang A, B, C, D, E, blah 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 blah. Whatever you have to say in the first 30 seconds, memorize it, make it perfect, dan itu akan menjadi booster. Biasanya kalau misalnya 30 detik pertama itu aku udah lancar, sisanya aku akan lebih pede. Dan kalaupun salah, aku jadi ngerasa it's okay, I can get over it. I did a really good job when I started this talk, and I'm gonna smooth it over. I really believe in this theory. I've done it every time I need to perform or speak or present, and I hope this works for you guys too. Oke, tips ketiga, yang ini gak kalah asik dan aku senang karena aku akan kasih lihat dan sharing ke kalian a secret tool that you can use. But the point here is that we all know that English is used a great amount in a lot of work settings, dan bahasa tuh medium yang sangat penting untuk berkomunikasi dan juga supaya kita bisa ngerasa connected dengan teman-teman bekerja kita gitu. Jadi language is a really important thing that you can improve on too if you wanna keep growing in your career, and I really think that it's part of your professional development, so it will play a big role in your communication abilities at the workplace and your success in the workplace. Kalau kita ngomongin bahasa Inggris, kita kan nggak cuma ngomongin belajar bahasa Inggris secara formal, tapi kita juga pengen banget gimana caranya pronunciation-nya bisa bagus, kita bisa have conversations with people, kita pengen bisa ngomong senatif mungkin gitu kan. Dan itu mempengaruhi kepedean kita juga, soalnya kalau kita ngerasa pronunciation kita kurang bagus atau cara ngomongnya salah, kita jadi nggak berani ngomong juga sih. Jadi penting banget gitu untuk latihan pronunciation and feel like you're getting there. And so I wanna share this app with you guys so that you can improve your English, specifically your pronunciation. And it's called Elsa. Dan app ini keren banget karena kalian bisa latihan ngobrol with their AI technology. And the reason why I like this app is because it's so well-rounded. It's made for everyone and it's customizable depending on your level. Jadi kalau kalian pertama download, kalian tuh pasti akan ada level testnya dulu. Jadi buat yang baru mulai belajar bahasa Inggris, they will adjust to that. Buat kalian yang mau advance your current English skill, bisa juga gitu.
But I really recommend that you guys upgrade to Elsa Pro biar bisa akses all of the lessons, track your progress, dan juga dapetin personalized learning plan-nya. Kayak misalnya ini nih, aku latihan dari suggested daily lessons. Dari sini aja ada banyak exercises to practice different skills. Kali ini misalnya yang pronunciation exercise. Kita bisa latihan ngomong Inggris, terus Elsa bisa detect how good our pronunciation is, show our mistakes, dan kasih feedback sedetail ini. Keren kan?
Yang aku juga suka tentang app ini adalah you get to have kind of like a friend, dan ada banyak interaksi dengan AI teknologinya yang membuat kamu tuh ngerasa kayak kamu tuh ngomong sama guru tapi juga ngomong sama temen, pokoknya ada interaksinya gitu deh. You basically can choose to practice having conversations in different settings. Jadi kamu bisa milih misalnya, oh aku mau latihan interview kerja nih, aku mau ngomong sama temen aku dalam konteks ini gitu, atau mungkin kamu cuma pengen basa-basi aja gitu. Jadi you can kind of set the setting, and ada juga loh lucunya ada juga di sini latihan ngomong in the context of online dating. So maybe that's helpful buat yang jomblo-jomblo di sini. Nah, aku mau kasih lihat keseruan pakai app ini. So you're gonna see it here. Yang aku akan gunakan ini adalah premium. So you can choose to unlock it if you'd like. And basically I'm gonna have a one-on-one real conversation with AI. And I am probably, I'm gonna make my own scenario. Oke, jadi ceritanya kita mau kenalan sama teman kerja di sebuah kantor yang baru gitu buat kita. Let's start.
Hi, welcome to Elsa AI. Please select one of the following role plays.
My own scenario.
What kind of role play activity would you like to do?
Making friends in the new workplace.
The scene takes place in a new workplace. Both new employees trying to make friends with each other.
Hi there, my name's Jane. I'm new here too. How's your first day been so far?
Hi Jane, nice to meet you. I'm Maudi. Well, my day has been great. I think I'm still adjusting to the new environment and team, but it's been well so far. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just trying to remember everyone's name. It's a little overwhelming at first, right?
Nah, ini seru banget. Kalau kalian bingung mau jawab apa, sebenarnya Elsa AI-nya tuh juga kayak ngasih opsi responses that you can use. So you don't always have to think off the top of your head. You can also select one of the responses that they give you. So this time I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go with this one.
Yes, I met the head of HR and we had a really nice chat about her love for dogs.
Let's finish it up.
Role play completed. Well done. We are computing your feedback.
Jadi at the end of your role play, you basically get like a performance report. Dan di sini tuh bener-bener dijabarin menurut interaksi tadi, kamu tuh kemampuannya udah di mana secara pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and it's all like done in quite a lot of detail. And it's such a great feature because then you know exactly how you did, you know where to improve and how to improve next time. I really love this. I wish I had it around when I first started learning English and when I, really wanted to improve my pronunciation because this would have really helped. Dan seperti yang aku kasih lihat tadi, if you unlock the premium, you get to even do like a one-on-one with Elsa AI. So I think that that's really fun because it basically simulates like a real-world example of what a conversation could go like.
Nah, di paket premiumnya itu udah termasuk Elsa Pro dan tool yang namanya Speech Analyzer, where we can practice any free speeches. So kalian bahkan bisa pakai ini buat latihan presentasi, job interviews, or even prep for your IELTS test with their guided questions. Nah, yang serunya nih, setelah selesai, dia akan kasih super detailed feedback and scores for us to improve on.
So friends, the key is to just stay consistent and keep learning because when it comes to language, I think consistency is really key and even small progress is still progress. Nah untungnya di app ini juga bakalan ada reminder feature gitu, jadi kalian akan selalu diingetin, yuk kita latihan, yuk kita belajar bahasa Inggris, belajar.
So, for those of you who want to master your English speaking skills, me and Elsa will be giving you a special discount for Elsa Pro and Premium. Kalian tinggal klik aja link in the description box.
Alright, so I hope that was useful you guys. Tadi ada 3 tips ya. Yang pertama, align your communication strategies with the culture of your workplace. The second one is prepare and over-prepare for the first 30 seconds of your speaking engagement. And the last thing is improve your English, a language that's used most often in working environments, and specifically practice your pronunciation, practice your comfort with the language, and try out Elsa. It should help you a lot with getting you that level of confidence. Karena kadang-kadang kita sebenarnya udah tahu gitu loh harus ngomong apa, cuman kita takut aja pronunciation-nya salah. And pronunciation sometimes makes all the difference in terms of our own confidence. So yeah, I hope that was useful. I'm gonna log out now and I'll see you in the next episode.